And still a clean ride.
Taking a little breather here. What he's trying to do is really rest the horse while he's jumping, which sounds kind of at odds with each other, but you really do that. You just let him flow a little bit, because now here comes the tough part again.
Clears the water safely.
Barely.
And over the final hurdle. A clean ride from Malcolm Pyra, a time of 109.92. And that means the Americans still have not yet clinched the gold. Conrad Homfeld is next.
We sure didn't need that British to go clear right after us. That really put a lot of pressure on our fourth rider, Conrad Homfeld. So it's going to be down to the last rider.
And here's the last rider, Conrad Homfeld, riding Abdullah, owned by Sue Williams. 0.89 in the first round, clean ride in the second round. Anything fewer than 7.56 faults in this ride will clinch the gold for the United States.
And that means that he's got one jump in hand. He can knock one jump down and still win it for the team.
Conrad Homfeld has been in this spot before. He clinched the team championship in the Los Angeles Olympics in '84.
And that was one of the greatest moments in American jumping. However, when he clinched it, they had such an insurmountable lead that it really was almost a piece of cake to him.
That is not the case here. Homfeld, of course, did win the silver medal as an individual in Los Angeles. And now the U.S. going for its first ever team title at the World Horse Jumping Championships.
A triple combination. Oof. Easy.
Keep in mind, he has a rail in hand. He can knock down one, but not two.
Now we come in that downhill lie to those big water jumps, which we call Liverpools.
Here they come. 4 faults.
Oh, he almost got the back rail there.
Frank
Stayed up, though.
can't believe it. Was luck involved in that?
A little bit that second one. He could have had 8 faults very easily right there.
He's got 4 now.
That's all right.
The water jump next. One more. Done. And Conrad Homfeld, 4 faults and a time of 107.29, has given the U.S. its first gold medal in the team competition at the World Horse Jumping Championships. But it was ever so close. He could only afford to have 1 rail down, and he almost had 2. Robert is down with Conrad.
So what did you feel when you had that first rail down?
Depression. No. You know, I thought I had a chance of jumping the rest of the course clean, but the course is so difficult that, you know, any jump there is to be taken seriously, and I had 4 more to go.
Like
so,
maybe the last one?
Like maybe the last one would be down again.
So what did the finish line feel like when you went through it?
Good. I knew we had it once I made it over the last vertical, so it was quite a nice feeling.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
The United States has won its first gold medal in the team competition at the World Horse Jumping Championships. Great Britain wins the silver, and France takes home the bronze. Michael Batts, Conrad Homfeld, Katie Monahan, and Catherine Birdsall. Individual championships coming up next.
The Mercedes-Benz Driving Simulator, a laboratory that moves. Computerized hydraulics producing realistic driving forces. Computerized projectors creating a lifelike driving world. Allowing engineers to analyze the responses of ordinary drivers in extraordinary moments. Duplicating any driving situation in total safety. Mercedes-Benz continues to learn the secrets of automotive science. And the automotive world continues to learn from Mercedes-Benz.
We pulled the wool over Mrs. Johnson's eyes.
What's this?
Feel.
This pink side's much softer, fresher.
Brand W cleans. New Delicare cleans better, softer, fresher.
I'm switching to Delicare.
Cleaner, softer, fresher care. New Delicare.
Guess what thousands of doctors are recommending for women who need extra calcium? Tums. Surprised? It's true. Tums isn't just a great antacid, it's also rich in calcium.
The American team is is the surprise of Europe, and Greg LeMond now makes his move. Continuing coverage of the Tour de France on CBS Sports next.
Welcome back to the Reitstadion in Aachen, West Germany. It's a festive place, but little different than an American sports stadium. You can't find a hot dog here, but there's more than just a little Wurst mit Brot. No peanuts or popcorn, but you can purchase a crepe with chocolate sauce on it. And for the horse fancier, nothing but the finest, a solarium to keep your horse warm. And yes, believe it or not, a hairdryer for a horse. You can get one right here. Well, it seems a little lavish, but I guess it works. Hi once again, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Robert Ridlin. We are in the city of Charlemagne, Aachen, West Germany. Our team competition has been concluded, and time now to turn our attention to the individual event. 72 riders began the competition earlier this week. We are down to the final 4, and each of these 4 will ride a different horse in each round. Robert, this really does give this a unique status, doesn't it?
Well, it sure does. Nobody will say at the end of today's competition that the winner won simply because he or she had the best horse. All 4 riders will ride horses they've never ridden before, and the survivor will be the world champion.
Now let's meet the 4 who will compete to determine the best rider in the world.
Gail Greenough, the rookie sensation of the Canadian team and the first woman ever to make the finals of the World Championships. Nick Skelton, the British rider who was the #1 rated rider in the world last year and who just beat out the American Michael Matz for the final qualifying spot. Pierre Durand, the Olympic veteran from the French team, 3rd place finisher in last year's World Cup and the leading qualifier here at Aachen. And Conrad Humfeld, who earlier led the U.S. squad to their first ever team gold in a world championship and America's only hope in the individual final.
2 of the 4 rounds have been completed, and here are the standings. Gail Greenough and Nick Skelton, no fault so far. Conrad Humfeld, 4. Durand, 20. Now, Robert, take us through the course.
We're looking at an aerial view of the course, shorter and less difficult than the team final. First 2 jumps, moderate. Then a long gallop down the main grandstand side to an oxer, which is a width jump. Right-hand turn around the lake, another oxer. Then an immediate downshift to a vertical, which is a single element upright. Left-hand turn, another vertical. Straight ahead, oxer, right-hand turn to the triple combination. Vertical going in, 2 oxers, width jumps coming out, and then the finish. Time limit 78 seconds. For every second over the time limit, a rider will be penalized 1/4 of a fault.
First rider up in the 3rd round is the American Conrad Humfeld riding Japelou de Luz, the French horse. Conrad with 4 faults in the 2nd round while riding Apollo. He has to be considered one of the favorites.
Well, going into this, you would say Conrad, based on experience, he's the best American rider, and Nick Skelton, the British rider, he's the best European rider. They're going to be the favorites. They've done this before. They have the big edge.
Humfeld is riding Japelou, an 11-year-old French horse, a very small horse, isn't he?
Yes, and the crowd really went wild when they saw him get on this horse because everything was out of proportion. He almost looked like he was on a pony.
This is the horse ridden by Pierre Durand, the Frenchman. And of course, as we said, in the individual championship, each rider rides his own horse plus the 3 of the others. Safely over the 4th and 5th jumps.
This is a very, very difficult test in a rider's skill. It's almost like telling the Indy 500 drivers after they finish the race, hey guys, swap cars, you know, Mirzir and Andretti's. But leave the steering and suspension the way it is. They can't change the equipment on these horses except their saddles.
The triple. Oh dear. Safely under the time limit, Conrad Humfeld, but he did have 4 faults. That gives him 8 through 3 rounds. Gail Greenough, Nick Skelton still on top. Humfeld with 8 faults, Pierre Durand with 20. Back in a minute.
The night has a beat of its own, a feel of its own, a beer of its own. Exceptionally smooth Michelob. It could make tonight the best part of your day.
Comfy shoes and funky blues and Mars roasted almonds. These are some of the best things in life. Reading Sunday funnies on your tummies and Mars buttery caramel. Store hopping, good time shopping, and Mars rich chocolate. These are some of the best things in life.
It's the little rewards that make life great. Mars Bar, one great little reward.
Some of the best things in life.
8 long years of development have created the Mercedes-Benz 300E. It moves from 0 to 55 in a stunning 7.5 seconds. It moves performance sedan engineering into a new dimension. And it returns to 0 with computerized ABS anti-lock brakes. The 300E sedan.
The World Horse Jumping Championships will continue in a moment, but right now we are live at the Showboat Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada, preparing for today's middleweight bout between Milton McCrory and Doug DeWitt. Hello everyone, I'm Tim Ryan, and coming up next on CBS Sports Sunday, the Iceman returneth. Former WBC welterweight champion Milton McCrory has moved up 2 weight classes and will fight today as a middleweight at 160 pounds. McCrory has lost only once in 30 bouts, and 22 of his opponents have fallen by knockout. Now the Iceman is pursuing a second world title. Today, we'll see if he can hold his own against rugged Doug DeWitt, a veteran middleweight with explosive power. It's a pivotal bout for both boxers, McCrory and DeWitt, and we'll have it for you live today. Also on CBS Sports Sunday, our coverage of the 1986 Tour de France continues as Greg LeMond bids to become the first American ever to capture that cycling classic. We'll have it all for you in less than a half hour. Right now, back to the World Horse Jumping Championships.
This stadium was built exclusively for horse jumping. 45,000 seats. There's a crowd of 60,000 because of the overflow on hand today. Nick Skelton is up next on Mr. T. This is a horse Robert Ridlin knows well. He spent some time talking about his footwear.
Like tires on a race car or cleats on football shoes, horseshoes are made to be adaptable to different turf conditions for maximum traction. Since we can't change the horseshoes in mid-competition, what we change are these metal studs. Each horseshoe has 2 holes in it, and you simply screw them in like bolts. Normally, the small studs go in front and the larger ones behind, with the largest stud on the outside, since that's the pivot point of a horse's turn. And in Aachen, where the weather is so unpredictable, it's important that all 8 studs can be changed in a matter of minutes right at the ring.
What kind of footwear might they be wearing today?
Well, it's a sunny day. The turf is firm, and they're going to be wearing very small cleats today.
Now, Nick Skelton on Mr. T. He is one of the favorites, but this horse was ridden roughly by the Frenchman in the last round.
Well, Pierre Durand really rode him too fast, and that kind of fried his brain. The horse is now going to be too anxious to get to the jumps. So Nick's job is going to be to slow him down. That's what he couldn't do right there. That horse just made a bid right at the jump. He's trying to rate him back, slow him down, quiet him down.
And that was not the most difficult jump. 4 faults already. Skelton came into this round tied for first. Here are 2 difficult jumps coming up.
Get that oxer there. Now slow down, bring him back, bring him back. You see how rough he had to get that second to last stride.
This is a horse ridden by Gail Greenough, the Canadian gal. Actually, you at one time sold this horse to her, I understand.
Yes, he started in Germany as a very young horse. I know the horse very well. You don't need any leg on him. What he's going to try to do here is just not use the accelerator pedal. Just sit tight.
Triple combination coming up. Oh, merciful heaven.
Unbelievable. You see what he tried to do? He tried to slow the horse down there. Everything got mixed up.
Now let's take a look and see if you can determine exactly what happened.
Well, he's slowing him down there, and right there he breaks into a trot that really mixes up the distance, puts him on a half stride. The horse can't jump. He tries to stop, and he falls right through it.
There's a concerned Gail Greenough. That's her horse.
And that's her veterinarian right next to her, Danny Marks.
Now Nick Skelton trying to recompose himself. The bell sounds signaling the resumption of time, and he'll try this triple again.
Horse looks fine.
7 faults, 4 earlier, 3 for the refusal. And safely through the combination this time, but a total of 10 faults, 7 on the course, and 3 for exceeding the time allowed. And Skelton with 10 faults and a